Hello, welcome to Lovely's Crafting Lodge. Today I am doing part 2 of how to make an altered book. Part 1 consisted of selecting the book, cleaning the book, and ripping out the pages in between our pockets. So the next part that I like to do is selecting the pages to cover the pages in the altered book. So we'll just set that aside there, and I think I wanted to do a Christmas holiday theme. So these are one-sided pages, and they're kind of thin that I picked out of my stash. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but I just wanted to kind of do a quick flip through with you of what I found. I'm not buying anything new for this, just using stuff that I have. Your altered book doesn't have to have a theme. I just chose to have a theme on mine. Like this, even this raccoon one, is it really Christmas? I don't know, but I like the green and it's kind of wildlife, so I picked it. Same with the bird. Is it Christmassy? I don't know. But I just went through my stash and picked up ones that I thought looked like Christmas. And I have lots of duplicates of that one. Obviously, I loved it. And then this one, I think, yeah, this one's one-sided as well. So I might use this for the pockets, or maybe cut apart and maybe use a couple of them for the cover. The, what's it called? Like the top piece. Topper. And then I have this paper. The Paper Studio, I believe this came from Hobby Lobby several years ago, and Hobby Lobby is good for having the same paper packs over and over, so you might be able to still find this. It's called Pine Street Square, and everything on it looks like it's some kind of distressed wood. So, or this one's like a burlap. I like that one a lot. That might be the cover. 25 for Christmas. That one's cute. Yeah, I'm thinking that reindeer one might be the cover. So just doing a quick flip through of this for you. I like music pages for Christmas books as well, so I'll be adding some music pages, but for now, for part 2, we're just going to be selecting the pages and cutting them down. And I'll show you kind of my method on how I cut the items, the paper 12 by 12 pages down. You can use other size pages. You can kind of like Franken paper it together if you want. If you want to do 6 by 6 pages, if that's what you have, or if you just have like the 8 by 11.5 from like printer pages, like dyed pages, I will be using some of those. Or if you have more of a the smaller ones. What is this? 8 by 10. 6 by 8. So if you have these smaller ones, you can use these ones as well. I use this in another one, but you can definitely use those. So what we have here, I'll go ahead and select these papers next. I want to cut down what I have in loose papers first. You don't have to do it that way. That's just what I want to do. I love red. Red is one of my favorite colors. So this one is already, the branding strip is already cut off. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one to the side. And I don't think I want to do a lot of duplicates in this one. Once I'm done with it, I'll count the pages, and it might end up being a December daily so I can do the cut-aparts. Now this one, I might do the front and the back inside covers. So those would kind of be duplicates, but not really. I do want to do the gnomes and the little snowman and the elves. So cute. I definitely want to do this bird one. And I think the raccoon and the bird one go together very well. I already have those. And I'm going to leave this one out. I'm not going to cut it right now, but I'm going to leave it out because I'm not sure if I'm going to use it as a page or I'm going to use it as a cut apart. So just kind of set that out. I have little baskets, little project baskets that I use. So if you have something like that, it would be helpful to kind of corral everything in one spot together. So I am going to, this one has a sticker on it, so it's going to be a little bit different. I have to cut it different. So I'm going to cut, this one's different too. I will cut 3 at a time. So all I'm doing right now is just taking my loose paper, and I'm cutting 3 at a time because they're so thin, and I'm just cutting off the branding strip. Because this one's not decorated, I'm just going to cut it off. I don't plan on using it in this book, so I'll set that to the side, and then I'll do 3 more. I'm not big on measuring, however, in these altered books, I do like to measure the main background page that I'm using. You don't have to, you can just tear it and kind of wing it if you'd like. So I've got that, and then these 2 have stickers on them, so they are going to have to be cut a little bit shorter. And if these don't work as background pages, that's okay. I'll be able to use them as journaling cards within the book. So I'll set these to the side, knowing that they are a little bit smaller. And we'll do our quick measuring here and see what we come up with. Yep, my ruler just disappeared. When you see this, you're going to be like, how did that disappear? Yep, that's the ruler. So just go somewhere in the book, pick a page, doesn't really matter, end-to-end text, and just measure how big that is. So that's like 4.5 and 7.5. So 4.5 and 7.5 is what we're going for. So again, we just take our pages and we do 7.5 high. So 7.5. And you just have to measure your book. It's not going to be 7.5. It's going to be whatever your book is. And then 4.5. 4.5 there. And then, sorry, I have my paper cutter just like has little magnet strips on it, little magnetic dots to kind of like mush it down, and it always slips out of my hand and it makes like this loud crashing noise. It's kind of disruptive. So I got those cut, and then this top piece, I'm going to cut it at 4.5 as well. No, I'm not. I'm going to cut it at 7.5. So it can be used as journal cards, or it can be used to cover a page. And then these 2 offcuts that I have, this like thinner square and then the more perfect square, I go ahead and put that in the project basket so I can use it throughout the project, like as journaling cards or whatever. So I have the pile of perfectly cut ones, and then I have ones that are just a smidge too small. So I'll do that with the next pile. Let's see, we have, first we have 7.5 high, and cut that. You can cut these with scissors. You don't have to have a paper cutter. I just like my paper cutter. So there's our 7.5, and then we'll cut this at 7.5 because it's the offcut, but we're going to try to use it because that's what we do. So we got 7.5 here, and we'll set that piece to the side, put this in the usable pile, and then here we're going to go ahead, we already have the 7.5 height, so we're going to go ahead and cut the 4.5 width. I do like paper cutters. This one is a scoreboard paper cutter combo, and it's from We Are Memory Keepers. I love We Are Memory Keepers. It's probably one of my favorite brands. I've had several other brands of paper cutters that I just really was not crazy about. I had Fiskars, not crazy about it, and I had a Cricut cutter, like a manual Cricut cutter. I was not crazy about that either. So far, I've had this one, and I've been pretty pleased with the usage of it. I think I've had this one for 2 years, and it's done well so far. So go ahead and put these in the usable pile. Alright. So we have a good amount cut here, so we can go ahead and start gluing. I can go ahead and show you that process. Oh, I forgot these ones. Whoops. And these ones were just a little bit short, so we will go 7.5. But the good thing about these, having the shorter ones or the skinnier ones, some pages aren't going to be perfectly end-to-end text. They might be like an end page or a title page or dedicated page. Maybe has artwork on the page, so you don't need the whole thing to be covered with the background paper. So I like to just use the paper that I like and see how I can make it work out. And here's another 4.5. See how it snapped right there? Sorry, it's just kind of startling to me. And this one, we'll do another 4.5. 7.5. Some of these are directional pages, and that might bother you. It doesn't bother me. I like having the variety. So you just use what you would like to use. Alright, so now we're going to set the paper the paper cutter aside. Have a little drink of coffee. It is morning. The best time to craft. Actually, any time is the best time to craft. Let's be clear. Okay. So, the smaller one, yep, it fits. So this one I was worried about its size. It's going to fit just lovely. So we will do a sideways one because it's kind of directional, but it's a sideways pocket, so it works out. So just take, if you have like a book holder, that might help you. My book's not staying open, so I'm just going to use my ruler to lay it down. It's a metal ruler. It's called, the brand is Pacific Arc, and it is 18 inches. I've had this since I began crafting, and I love it. I use it as a tear ruler. Oh, sorry. So I'm just going around the edge, and then I kind of do like this infinity symbol, like a figure 8. And I'm using, the glue that I'm using is Fabrifix. You don't have to use Fabrifix, you can use whatever you would like. Fabrifix does have a particular aroma, so if scents bother you, this is probably not the glue for you. But it's well ventilated down here, so I don't mind it. I'll just go ahead and smooth it out with my bone folder. I use a Teflon bone folder, so literally nothing sticks to it. It's my absolute favorite bone folder. It's a little bit more expensive than other bone folders, but it's the last bone folder you will ever have to buy. So, you do you. Let's see here. This is just a smidge too big. Let's see what this one looks like. We could always cut it down, it's not a problem. I like this one. Yep, because it plays on the red and green already. I like traditional Christmas colors, but I also like pastel Christmas colors, and then I like the jewel tone Christmas colors. I usually don't like them all together. I like them kind of separate, doing their own things. But it's kind of like Halloween for me. I like all the colors of Halloween. I like the traditional colors, but then I also like the pastel colors that they came out with this year. It's kind of like a summerween, like a neon summerween. But then I like the darker, just black and spooky and like the grayish white look. The dusty rose, I like that. I like all of it. So this page is almost done because all we have to do now is, I like to rip mine. You can glue down this back flap if you want. I would like to rip mine. So just take it, rip it off, put that to the side. And then we are going to just take a very thin line. You can use different glues on this if you want. Like if you want to use a glue stick for the paper, and then you want to use a fine tip for the sealing of the pages, you do what you want. I just have this glue right here, so I'm just going to use it all at once. And then we just glue down the page, or the pocket, sorry. And then that's our page right there. And then we can put a little piece of ephemera in there, or a little journaling card, whatever you'd like, and that page is done. So put that back to the side, and we'll move on. I like to shut the book to give it a little squish. It helps when it starts to bulk up. It'll start to come together, you'll see. And then you can go in chronological order if you want, but I am a little bit sporadic, and so I just pick another page. Let's see here. I like this one, but what shall we put with it? Let's see. And this one's kind of cute. Maybe this one. Oh yeah, that's way better. I like that one better. So I'll put these two together. And then sometimes if I like the color, but I'm like, I'm not sure about which side it should go on, just flip it. And it looks better whichever way you like it, and then that's the way you go with it. There's no, just like everything in junk journaling, there's no rules. Does it have to be this way or that way? You can just do it however you want. This is how I like to do it. Some people like to cut and measure and lay out their pages and plan how many pages they have. I kind of like the surprise of it. I like how it like comes together, and it's kind of like a surprise. Like, oh, it turned out to be exactly 25 pages. How exciting. Now it's a December daily. Like, I like that. I think it's fun to just kind of feel what the journal's wanting to do, and then do it, and then go back and look at it and be like, okay, how can I use this? You know, how is this going to be best used? But that's probably why I like to make multiples of something at the same time. Like I'm making 8 of these right now. Well, this will be 9. Because though each one has like kind of their own, I know it sounds crazy, but they kind of have their own personality. And so they come together a little bit different. But you see it. This is all I'm doing. I'm just picking the papers, cut them down to fit the text, and glue them in. That's all we're doing. And the pages that you have ripped in the middle, you don't glue anything here because these are going to be glued together. So you don't glue anything on those pages. And yeah, I guess that's really all I have to share for today for part 2. And let's see, I don't think I want to do the cover yet. We'll do the cover next. We'll do the cover on part 3. So I'll go ahead and keep gluing these pages in, and I will see you back here next time at Lovely's Crafting Lodge for part 3.